1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the High Stakes Fantasy Network. I'm Greg Ambrosius. This is Jeff Stein. He's in beautiful Las Vegas or Florida or California or Bermuda or where the hell are you? It looks beautiful there.
Muskegon, Michigan. Let me see if I can get Muskegon Lake right on Lake Michigan here. If you guys want to Google it, what a spot to be working. We had a little bit of a rough night last night. I made a couple boneheaded errors, so I said I got to get out of the house a little bit. I got to clear my mind. So I treated myself to a nice lunch here at the Muskegon Brewing Company, and I said, what a better place to broadcast from than on the deck, right on Muskegon Lake, right on Lake Michigan here.
Jeez, if I would have known you were going to do that, I would have taken my office out to the dock right here up in
Yeah,
northern Wisconsin. We could have really shown everybody.
The lake broadcast.
Lake broadcast, definitely. Well, again, broadcast, yes, we're doing the RotoWire Online Championship again, $350 entry fee, $250,000 grand prize. I wanted to do a matinee cut line, but we didn't fill one today, so we're going to do this one instead. But, yeah, come on. We got to start filling up these cut lines here pretty soon, and we will, but what the heck? Let's do it. Happy Friday to you, Tyler, as well. We're going to have some fun with this. And yes,
Tyler,
in 2 weeks, I will be in Las Vegas, and I'll see you there. But, okay, so 12 teams, 20 rounds, third round reversal, remember, 1 to 12, 12 to 1, then back to 12 to 1. So we'll just give you some draft results. We'll do this for about a half hour or so, but we just figured since we had an afternoon to kick off, let's show you some results, some draft results with $250,000 on the line. So, Jeff, we did get another Midnight Owl last night. That's where you screwed up, but we get the Midnight Owls, right?
And that's why I screwed up, and that's why I'm here. Man, oh man, I woke up and it's time to grind again. It's that time of year for the life we chose. But no complaints whatsoever. But yeah, that Midnight Owl, man, and that went quick last night. Gosh, I think that was an hour and 15 minutes. Those guys killed it last night.
Good.
Great draft, nice and quick. Got me the bed early. I'm up. I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to go today.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, that Midnight Owl sold out like an hour before the deadline, so that filled up. Already today, we got a 2 p.m. There's Christian McCaffrey going first overall. We'd like to see where he goes because of that calf injury. But we already filled a 2 p.m. We already filled an 8 p.m. You know we're going to get the 10 and 11:55, so we're really starting to pick up with the RotoWire Online Championship. Again, I want to get that cut line going in the afternoon, so let's get the cut lines going here. Tyreek Hill at 2. CeeDee Lamb, Jeff, what'd you see last night? Did he drop again last night as well?
He did. Oh, Duke. I'm sure Duke's watching. He got the number 1 pick last night, and in the chat beforehand, he said, I don't have me enough Tyreek Hill shares. So I'm taking Tyreek Hill number 1. So Tyreek Hill went number 1 at the Midnight Owl last night. Lamb, he's fallen. And again, here we go. Breece Hall, number 3. Man, oh man, it's he's safe. Again, we talked about it yesterday during our broadcast, how a lot of these guys in the first round have a lot of lingering questions. And if you want to gamble or not, Hall seems like one of the safest of all. So seeing him go again at 3 is not shocking to me, and I don't think it's wrong.
Well, we don't have CeeDee Lamb yet, and we were talking about it yesterday. He went 5th, which was his lowest that he had gone. So I think we're going to set a new low here with CeeDee Lamb. People are getting worried about this. They think Jerry's not going to pay the man. Pay the man, Jerry. Come on, you got to win.
I don't know what Jerry's doing.
Yeah,
I don't know what Jerry's doing. He's got the Dak contract looming over him. He's got the Lamb contract looming over him. He's bringing McCarthy back after. I think nobody expects him to do anything with McCarthy as head coach. It's just what's going on with the Cowboys. Usually you can this is the time of year where you kind of start talking yourself into the Cowboys and say, maybe if all goes right, this is the year they get it together. But I don't see it this year.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry's hasn't won since '95. They haven't won many playoff games at all. So lost to the Packers in grand fashion at home last year. You got to pay these guys. You got to be all in on this year, I think, because like you say, the window at Dak, who knows what's going to happen there. So, all right, so we started out with 3 running backs with the first 4 picks. Bijan went 4th, and now we've got a run of wide receivers. Let's see what the running backs do. The last couple of online championships, we've had like 10 or 11 running backs go in the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, and again, talking about yesterday's draft that we broadcast, Justin Jefferson went number 2 in that one, and we talked about at the time. I don't think that's wrong, but here he is, number 9 today, which kind of shows you the volatility that we're still seeing right now. You get to these wide receivers, again, this is kind of how I have it right now. I have Hill 1, St. Brown 2 on my personal wide receiver ranks. With Jefferson, I think he's my 3 now. But man, you're kind of throwing, everything up in the air when it comes to these mid first round wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Marvin Harrison goes in the first round. He goes 11th. Very interesting there. The number 12 team, Jeff, you had that the other night. We talked about it. Double dip on the running backs. Then you just go crazy with the wide receivers. But Gibbs and Taylor, thoughts on Gibbs going in the first round again now?
Boy, our guys ain't worried about that hamstring. We talked about, again, going back to yesterday, we kind of talked about it. Like, to me, I'm a little iffy that when they're hurt this early. So I think I'd go with Saquon, and that's what I did in our draft the other night.
Right.
I went Saquon Taylor at the turn, and I think I got to do it at that point. But our guys definitely aren't worried. I think we said, Gibbs maxed out at 17 overall.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's a little more question, but they're saying the right things about that hamstring. If I had to bet on it, I would say, yeah, he's going to be fine for week 1. But at this point, I'm taking Barkley ahead of Gibbs.
I don't believe anything they're saying right now. I'm not so sure he will be ready for week 1. It's a long season. You don't want to push him if he's not 100%. So we'll see here. Puka Nacua goes to team 10. So interesting stuff. Barkley, we talked about it yesterday. He's gone anywhere from 10 to 19 in the last couple of weeks in the RotoWire Online Championship. He goes 14 here. So interesting second round. And we've said the last couple times we've done this, the third round is really interesting. It's like an onslaught of wide receivers that go in the third round. So we'll see how many running backs go here as well.
Let me ask you a question. I asked this to Tom in the past. I've been with the NFFC in the past, back in, 2010 was our original run together. Yep. Where I was the past couple of years, or the past 13 years, didn't really run the free look on Thursday. And obviously we have a free look on Friday this year. Yeah. Yesterday we talked about the prime time and how Saquon Barkley is the running back 4 there. Do you think that Friday game, that free look, is people in those prime times baking in that Friday game? How do you think that has, when you do drafts right now?
Yeah.
Do you think like if obviously, and I know you don't want it, but if Barkley comes out against the Packers and has a 3-touchdown game,
yeah,
where do you think he goes on those Saturday drafts for the main prime times? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. If he would do something like that with 3 touchdowns and some receptions and such, he'd be a top 6-7 pick, no doubt. It changes without a doubt. We used to only have the Thursday game, right? We know that.
Sure.
Again, Peyton Manning went off. That tight end went off for him that year, and of course, Peyton Manning was the number 1 overall pick. So I don't think that the Barkley right now is being baked in as, let me just see what he does on Friday, because I think you're planning on starting him. But you're absolutely right. On Saturday, it'll change an awful lot, for sure.
And again, I think that's more primetime based, because the majority of the primetime drafts are going to be done that Saturday in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So is that... Yeah. Do you think when you see the difference where Barkley's 11th overall in the primetime ADP and he's running back 4 going ahead of Gibbs and Taylor, do you think that's maybe them hedging a little bit, saying, man, if this guy goes off that Friday game, I got me a heck of a value at pick 11, pick 12 with Saquon Barkley?
I don't think they're baking it in right now like that, but I do think it does play a role, especially when you draft later on. But no, I think you have a chance with the free look to, if he has a dog of a game, let's say, then you start 2 other running backs. So, it'll be interesting. Pacheco.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you don't want to be benching your first-round running back. But there is value into that, knowing what he's going to do that first game.
Without a doubt. And same with the Packers. We talk about the wide receivers, right? Anyone could go off on that game. Well, guess what? You got a free look now before you have to set your lineup. Now, Pacheco, we could throw him in the mix as well, right? He's going to have a free look on week 1. But, boy, Pacheco's just been moving up, right? We're at 18 right now. I don't know. I don't have my ADPs in front of me, unfortunately, but my goodness, that seems like it's pretty high for him right now.
Yeah, I have it pulled up here. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, I'm scrolling. 28th overall the last week.
Okay.
With a min of 17 and a max of 35. So, again, we talked about him yesterday. I think he went around, I want to say, the 11th, or excuse me, the 23rd pick, the 11th pick in round 2 yesterday. Right. And we said, man, that's new. And man, oh man, seeing him right here, team 7 at this point, holy cow, give me some of that running back helium, because he's one of those guys that's flying up. You see ETN flying up. I think Achan yesterday, he went early second round in our draft, correct? And he's at
Yeah,
the
he
end of
did.
the second round. So
Right.
I don't know if this is going to stabilize between now and the next 3 weeks. But
Yeah.
man, oh man, if you're going to be drafting, you got to decide what you're going to do in round 2 with these running backs because it's all over the place right now.
Yeah, there's 11 running backs that seem to go pretty early. And right now we've got 10 of them that went off the board. And that's what happened yesterday as well. We had 10 go off. Didn't look like it was going to go that way today, but all of a sudden 3 running backs in a row here at the end. But again, now's where I bet you a lot of wide receivers go. It seems like there's an 11 running back that go, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that don't have a running back right now. So we'll see how it goes here.
And here come the receivers. You nailed it.
Yeah. All right, Tyler, you're going to take HN. We'll see you in Vegas if you take them. We'll see you for sure.
Yeah, we're going to hold you to that, Tyler. Let's carve that in stone. Or what my guy Lenny Melnick back in the day, etch that into your kitchen table. I know you know Lenny, Greg.
I would say
baseball legend.
I would say Lenny still says that, not just back in the day. I bet he still says that, right?
I think he does. I catch his podcast from time to time during the fantasy baseball season. And etch this name into your kitchen table. And we're etching Tyler Lake and Achan over all those guys into our kitchen table.
All right. Well, there's Malik Neighbors goes into third round right now. People have been a little worried about his ankle injury, but it looks like he might be back. But he falls into the third round here. And again, once these running backs start getting moved up a little bit, guys like Pittman, Waddle, Neighbors fall into the third round. You got to like that right there. There's that 11th running back is Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and we've done these broadcasts with Tom. I'm a big Waddle guy this year. I know, his injury history is a little sketchy and not the best, but man, if you can give me that start from Team 12 with the 3 RR, again, I would have probably gone Barkley over Gibbs. If you can give me Barkley, Taylor, Waddle, sign me up for that all day, every day.
Yeah.
And again, we had Duke in here talking about I don't know if Team 10's doing the 0 running back start, but 3 wide receivers to start. It'll be interesting to see what Team 8, 3 wide receivers to start. If you pick while I'm talking. So a little more variety today. We had the mixing and matching yesterday in our draft where, I think there was only a couple by this point that went all wide receiver, but again, here we go. There's another one, Team 6. I'm putting this out there into the universe and it's happening. So, Team 5, does he go wide receiver? Yes or no, Greg? Make your call.
I think yes, because this is the round. This is the round.
You got it. Greg wins. Yeah. Look at this, man. Oh man.
You're absolutely right. It's different than yesterday because yesterday it seemed like everybody got a running back and a wide receiver. I think there were only 2 teams that went wide receiver. Well, we've got 4 teams right now with 3 wide receivers. So this should be getting interesting. Jacobs, now the 12th running back out there. Team 4 is not leaving them for 5, 6, 8, or 9 here or 8 or 10 to get the running back there. So
now they're loading up in Team 3. He's got the 2 running backs. He's got to go receiver here, right?
I think the receivers are the best on the board, right? Maybe not.
Oh, wow. You don't see a lot of 3 running back starts these days. My personal philosophy in life is to zag while others are zigging and zigging while others are zagging. So I like this start. I think there might be something to that.
It's very interesting. We've talked about hero running backs where if you get a guy like McCaffrey and you can just load up on wide receivers there, and then running back 2, you just kind of stream in. Well, guess what? Team 1, Team 3, and Team 4 said the hell with hero running back, right? They're loading up at that position, and they'll let those other guys fight for second-tier running backs, if you will.
And I think, we talked about those guys yesterday, how, what was it, about round 5, 6, 7, they start going off. It'll be interesting to see if they even get pushed up a little more today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Round 5 is where a lot of those guys go and we're like, hey, not bad. I like that guy. He's a running back 1 with his team, but we won't say any names. But like you say, they may get pushed up by those 4 teams that have wide receivers, or they just put the pedal to the gas on these wide receivers. So very interesting. Every RotoWire Online Championship is different. Jeff watches a lot more than I do, obviously. Tom watches a lot more than I do, but everyone is different. Absolutely, right?
Yeah, and here we go. I was just about to say, I thought we were going to get an all green and yellow first 3 rounds like we did yesterday, but we got our Josh Allen, the first pick of the final pick of round 3 here, the Team 1. So, man, it's going to be interesting what this guy does at wide receiver. Do you? Again, there's a chance here. I'll be interested to see. I'll let him
Take
make
a tight end. Take a tight end right
that's what,
here.
at this point, this guy could have the running back one, the
Yep.
quarterback one, and the tight end one.
Yep.
Which again is a decent strategy if you ask me. You're playing behind the eight ball when it comes to wide receivers, but if you trust your evaluations and stuff and can find those sleeper wide receivers,
And you load up. There you go.
Debo, I
Debo's a good
like
one.
that. See,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. We talked about Debo a little bit yesterday, so I like to start for Team 1 here.
Yeah, interesting that Ayuk did go ahead of Debo only by 2 picks. I think he has been going a little bit more ahead of him. There isn't any news yet. I know I saw John Lynch said today they're trying to get it done. It takes time, but it almost looks like he is going to return to San Francisco, don't you think?
I think that's got to be the betting favorite at this point.
Yeah.
I kind of think they let it go out there and say, hey, look, here's your market right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, he overshot what his market was. But, does he come back and tuck his tail between his legs? But, we kind of talked about it yesterday with the CD Lambs and the Jamar Chases of the world. At what point do you start to kind of worry that these guys haven't had a training camp and they haven't had the reps? And he's the one, I got to take Samuel ahead of Ayuk at this point. But, when you get the Diggs and a couple other guys we're about to see go here at the wide receiver position, I kind of have them all about the same, I think.
Yeah, I think he does come back. I think one of two things. One, he kind of overshot his value, and the 49ers can give him what he thinks is about his value. The second thing is they started saying, we're going to trade you to New England or to Pittsburgh. No, I don't want to go there, he says. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, so, it's funny how fast that makes you shape up, ain't it?
Absolutely. So, all right, we got our first tight end here, and it's not Travis Kelce today. It has been the last 2 live streams that I've done. It's Sam Laporta there.
Did you see? I'm sorry to go back to that, but did you see the Stevenson interview at the game last night where he said, I think they were talking about Judon. He said, "Oh, he got to go to a better team or something like that." It was some kind of quote during the in-game interview. It's like, yeah, we're happy for him. He got to go somewhere good. It's just like
a team that actually has a chance of winning. Yeah, we're happy for him. I don't think if Belichick was there, he'd probably be cut after saying something like that on the sideline. All right, we got Hurts and Laporta and Kelce here, so we got back-to-back tight ends there. So. Was that Team 5 did not take a running back? So the big
we're seeing a little bit of a difference. We're seeing a little bit of difference from yesterday. Again, you mentioned the swap of Kelce and Laporta, even though they went back to back. Hurts was the quarterback 3 yesterday. A different guy went right after Josh Allen. But again, this round 4, you called the wide receivers in round 3 kind of. That's where you kind of start considering the quarterbacks, the tight ends. This round 4, I think this is kind of where things start to get different, and I think this might be where drafts are won this year.
Yeah, very interesting. You got a lot of different choices. Again, Team 5 and Team 6 are not taken. This is the no running back, I guess, strategy. I've said if you go 4 or 5 rounds, I guess that's considered no running back. You go longer than that, that's definitely no running back strategy. But there's this third quarterback going off the board. He's been the second one normally. Patrick Mahomes. So Team 8 did coalesce and take a running back, but we've got 3 teams now. Team 10 goes tight end as well. So 3 teams without a running back, kind of the no running back strategy here.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. That's a new one to me. And again, I like it. It's always one of these strategies that no one else is doing that seems to be popular. Then next year, everyone will copy that and they'll go the other direction. So, I like it. And again, here we go, man. Look at the tight ends going this round.
Yep. Kincaid, McBride. I mean, tight end position is much deeper. We've talked about that. Very interesting here. It's just a much better tight end. Look at this. Andrews goes now. We got a little run on the top 5 tight ends here. I like it.
Yeah, I think that might be as close as I've seen the top 5 tight ends go all year. Usually there's a little bit of a distance between Laporta, Kelce, and these other 3. So, very interesting. And we talked about probably the next guy yesterday. It'll be interesting to see where he goes with people looking and saying, might be time to get my tight end.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Team 10 goes no RB, but he grabs Kenneth Walker, obviously a starter. If he can stay healthy, has great upside. Got to stay healthy, though. Got to stay healthy, Team 10.
Tom and I kind of talked about a month ago. That Seattle situation is kind of interesting to me. I'm not sure what to expect there with the coaching change. It's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
defensive coordinator, or excuse me, the head coach they brought in was a defensive guy.
Yeah.
That whole thing's up in the air to me. I'm not a big, I know I don't like mentioning guys, but I'm not a big Charbonnet fan. I think Walker could be a decent running back one at this point. And then you bring up the wide receivers. I love where Metcalf goes. Carroll just never really fed that guy with the offense he had.
Right.
That whole Seattle, I don't know. I feel like they've almost been like the forgotten team. I don't know if they're up there in the Pacific Northwest or what, but you really don't hear it a lot. And given the changes, there's been some other teams like the Titans and a couple other ones that you hear, oh yeah, they're going to go to a high passing offense. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. You haven't heard much about what Seattle's going to do. So I think there's some value to be mined there with those guys. And, I mentioned Metcalf where he goes, and I like where Walker goes because these guys have wide receiver one and running back one upside if things go differently than they have in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you. We really don't know what type of offense they're going to run. I mean, we're just so used to Seattle pounding the ball. Who knows? Maybe they let Geno open it up more this year, and then rely on their defense to hold leads. So it'll be interesting to see. We're just so used. It's like 15 years of Pete Carroll just pound.
Carroll's been there a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got Team 6 takes his first running back here. Aaron Jones is his. So Team 6 and Team 10 dipped into the running back pool. And two guys that are very good but have to stay healthy. I love Aaron Jones. I love him. But on the AstroTurf, and we'll just see how healthy he can be. But I love Aaron Jones as much as anyone, but he's got to stay healthy. There you go, Team 5. That's the no RB right now. Okay.
Loading up.
Loaded up. You got your flex. You got your tight end one. You got a wide receiver one possibly. So if those guys all come through with 18 to 20 points, you're sitting at 100. Just need a couple of running backs now.
We found our Duke in this one. We had our Duke, I think it was Team 7 yesterday.
Yes, it was.
And our Duke in this one is Team 5.
Again, round 5 is very interesting. Usually a lot more running backs go in this round. So 5 and 6 is where we see some of these running backs that we'll talk about, but pretty interesting. And also interesting, only 3 quarterbacks right now. I mean, we've always said you can wait on quarterbacks. It's very deep this year. But every once in a while, you see guys that say, he's still out there? 5th round? I'll take him. Not yet. Holding off in round 5. No quarterbacks taken in round 5.
Yeah, there's a couple of those guys looking at the ADP list. You got to figure there's some people at this end of round 5 that said, here's what I'm going to do. But seeing those quarterbacks there, you got to think twice about it.
All right, Team 3 takes his first wide receiver. So very interesting how different builds are, and that's what we love about watching these live streams is you can build your team any way you want. 3 running backs, quarterback, Calvin Ridley. I feel good about it. 4 wide receivers and Aaron Jones. I feel good about it. 4 wide receivers and Travis Kelce. I feel good about it. So lots of different ones. There goes Terry McLaurin. So no quarterback going in round 5 right now, and certainly Team 1's not going to take one.
I see 12 winners right now. I don't know about you.
That's the political thing to say right now, for sure. No, I don't see any outstanding ones negatively, that's for sure. Everyone's just building it a lot different way, and we love it. All right, round 5, we did not get a quarterback. So 3 quarterbacks in the first 60 picks. That's not how the ADP shapes up, but we like it. We like it a lot. And, hey, put some comments in the chat. I'll throw them up here as well. We'd love to have your comments up here. We'll definitely comment or answer a question or anything like that. Keenan Allen going now to Team 1, who's starting to load up on the wide receivers.
Yeah, that's a PPR turn if I've ever seen one right there. Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen. That should be good for, 12 points a week just in catches, you'd think.
Well, I don't know. Allen, they're talking like he got up to 230 or something like that. I'm not quite sure where that's coming from. I know people are putting question marks on all that. I've never seen him overweight. I'd be surprised if he was.
As someone that's a lot closer to 230 than I was when I was in my 20s, I would think that I'm a little bit slower. I can still probably catch it as well, but man, I ain't nearly as fast as I was in my 20s.
I think if you got down to 200, you still wouldn't be as fast as you were when you were in your 20s.
I think if I got down to 200, you might be putting me 6 feet in the ground at this point.
Well, here's how you can get to that spot. don't drink in Las Vegas when you're out there for the NFFC drafts. All right.
Oh man, it's a work trip. It's definitely a work trip. But I think just like I did for baseball, I might. That's why the good thing about that Western time zone is I can get all my work done and kind of sneak down there and enjoy it a little
That's
bit with
right.
the guys. So
Yep.
that's my plan for football.
We've got some nice center bars at Park MGM as well, and in fact, the sportsbook's got a big bar, so we like to hang out there. They just close it down too early. That's the only problem. All right, Anthony Richardson's the 5th quarterback off the board. He goes to team 2 and now team 4. So the left side's taking care of their quarterbacks. If 5 and 6 want to wait, they're going to be able to get them in the odd number rounds here, I think, because I don't see some doubling up here with these guys.
Yeah, Richardson went really late yesterday in
He
our
did.
draft too.
Yeah.
I want to say, did Kyler Murray go ahead of him yesterday? Or
Yes,
a couple. Again,
yes.
sorry to
Yes, he
name
did.
guys that haven't gone yet, but there was a couple of guys that went ahead of him that I was surprised about. And here we go with Burrow. We talked about him yesterday. About I think he was number 7, quarterback 7 on the last 2 weeks of the online championships, but 11 on the prime time.
Yep.
A lot closer to 7 today. He was
Yep.
closer to 11 yesterday. So my advice to anyone thinking about hopping into one of these drafts is really know what you want to do with the quarterback position and be ready, because things can change quickly, because these guys, once you get past the Allen, Hurts, and Mahomes of the world, it's kind of a crapshoot of what people are thinking.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, team 5 still not without a running back. Decided to dip into the quarterback pool, which is interesting. So we'll keep an eye on team 5. He's got some work to do at the running back position. Team 7, you're zigging today. You're zigging today with 3 running backs here. You let me know what's going on there. It's not like you, Evan. Team 8 takes a tight end here. So the tight end's going off the board a little bit earlier than I've seen, but I like it here. So, but yeah.
And again, I mentioned after we got that run there, this wasn't who I expected the next guy to be. Ingram is kind of, ADP wise, he's around this next guy, but I'd be surprised if the next tight end isn't the guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
But we had a little bit of a wait here. We talked about how I haven't seen those top 5 tight ends go that close together all year, but then we pretty much had almost a round and a half wait before another one went. So, again, be ready with these drafts. That's the best advice I can give. I know you can look at the ADPs, you can plan everything out, be ready to go, think you're on top of stuff. Then all it takes is 1 or 2 of these positional runs to throw an entire draft off. So,
absolutely.
Watch these broadcasts, but be ready, because anything can happen, especially in these 12-team RotoWire online championships.
Yep. All right. We're always looking for stacks. We got Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice is a stack right there. The Burrow did not team up with anybody there that I can see, I believe. Jackson did not team up. Hurts did not team up at this point yet. And Richardson, nothing. Josh Allen, nothing. So we're not heavy into stacks today other than the Mahomes Rice ones. We'll see what the other ones take here. But that can be popular. Doesn't always work, but it has been popular to win the overall in ours for a while. CJ Stroud goes to team 11.
And he's a guy that, again, he's been kind of slipping here. He was usually early on the quarterback 5 behind Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, Jackson, Stroud. But there's been a couple of these I've noticed lately where he's been slipping. I'm not sure. You mentioned the stacks. I'm not sure if it's people, where you look at his top receivers, Collins, Diggs, Dell, they're all early round guys. So maybe people that are looking to stack are saying, well, I didn't get any of those 3 top receivers, so I'm gonna pass on Stroud. But man, at some point he becomes an incredible value, and at the end of round 6, I think I'm gonna have a hard time passing on CJ Stroud if he's there.
Yeah, I think a lot of times CJ Stroud is being stacked with one of those wide receivers for sure. We got to get that percentage. I know we have the ability to do that. I should look it up, but he is definitely being stocked either with Tank Dell or Collins or Diggs. Not today, it looks like. Team 12, one of the more interesting builds as well, because once you get those first 2 running backs, you think you might hold off on that, but pounded it twice at the turn on 6 and 7 with Ramondre Stevenson and Zamir White. Again, this is a lot of very interesting builds in this one, and a lot different than what we saw yesterday.
Team 5 can't like that turn when he's seen Stevenson and White goes, because if that starts another running back run before he gets back, it could get a little bit ugly.
Here we
And here
go.
we go. we talked about Warren yesterday, one of the guys that the zero running back guys love. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Team 5, you got your work cut out for you at this point.
Yep, 6 running backs have gone since he last picked Joe Burrow. So very interesting, but we'll definitely keep an eye on it. We said round 5 and 6 is where the running backs usually go, but really only 2, 4, 6, 7 running backs went right there. So more so, I think, is going to be in round 7. There's Kyler Murray going to team 8.
And we got to point out the Mahomes, Rice, Worthy stack that just went there. That's a little early on Worthy. He's been shooting up draft boards. He's had a lot of helium here, but I think overdrafting him at that point to get that stack is the right call. I wanted to say something, but again, I try not to mention when.
Yeah.
But that was my guess that you were going to see Team 9 go for Worthy there, and I like it. Incredible upside.
Yeah, that's a stack for sure. He probably can do one more if he wants to, but that's looking good. Yeah, I mean, the Kyler Murray, like you said, went to team 8. Team 11, I would take Stroud over Murray, no doubt about it. But if you really did want to stack, that's where Murray would go with the Marvin Harrison one. So interesting choice there by team 11, but hey, you don't have to stack, that's for sure, especially when you got Stroud, who's got really, really good upside here. So
and team 10, who has McBride right after that, went with the running back at that spot. But this is, again, we talked about Murray a little bit yesterday. He's kind of been that guy that in June and July, he was, I can just wait and get Kyler Murray. But now he's up here around the Strouds of the world, the Burrows of the world. So if your plan is to wait on quarterback and get Kyler Murray, you might have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, he's moved up, no doubt about it. He's moved ahead of my quarterback, and so it's been interesting. Mine is falling for some reason, but yeah, Murray for sure. I mean, we're not going to see a quarterback now for a while because these first 5 teams all have quarterbacks. So, all right, team 5 is on the board. Tony Pollard is his running back 1. Certainly not the end of the world. Pollard looks very good. We were talking about it yesterday. He looks quicker. I think he's fully recovered from that high ankle sprain that he got in the playoffs in 2022. So that's his running back 1. We'll see what else he gets here. But 2, 4, 6, 7 running backs went off since he last took Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and again, man, oh man, he got the Tony Pollard, who was, I believe, the guy yesterday, team 7, that did the zero running back. Pollard was one of his targets. So again, things are starting to become a little bit clearer here. Who people like, what these strategies are doing. I'm pretty sure the guy that waited on running backs at Team 7 yesterday, Pollard, was one of his guys. So, again, we talked about it. He looks quicker. He looks better. He's got that running back 1 upside. He's been the guy in that Tennessee backfield that people want now. Again, June, July, they were going pretty close together. The other guy was going ahead of Pollard at points. Yeah. I think now people are putting their, staking their claim, putting their flag in the ground that Pollard is the guy to have in Tennessee.
Yep. All right, Marquise Brown goes at the end of round 7. 84 is that spot. I had mentioned this on RotoWire show I was on the other day. His ADP was 66, 67 as soon as he got hurt. I don't think he's going to be ready for week 1. He dropped a full round, and now he's dropped to 84. So from 66 to 84 is a round and a half. That was the one I thought, boy, if Team 9 really wanted to do another stack, you can take him maybe in round 8, but not to be here. So Austin Eckler goes to Team 2 as his second running back. So again, that was kind of a hero running back play, even though it wasn't a first-round running back. Achane he takes in round 2, and then Eckler is his next running back all the way in round 8 here. So Rome Odunze moving on up draft boards as well into the top 100 now. He had been lower than that before. Okay, so Team 5 now has 2 running backs. Javonte Williams.
Williams is an interesting one because, there was points in May there where they're saying, he might be cut. But now he's the lead back. You're reading how he looks good again. And we talked about Pollard yesterday, how he was injured and, people had big expectations of him going into last year, but he was hurt the year before, and he never really got back to that level he was at. I think Williams might be another one of those guys. People took a chance on him last year saying, he'll be back in week 4, but he never really was the same running back coming back from injury. But you give him another year past whatever he had going on, I think it was a knee, correct?
Yep.
There's nothing but upside there in a Sean Payton offense. So again, waiting on, and here we go with Duke getting some Greg Love. You owe him a beer in Vegas. But the Team 5 waiting on the running backs and taking two high upside guys that are coming off of down years that have incredible talent. I love what Team 5 has done thus far.
All right, Team 7's probably a bucket of Coronas at the Westgate for that one. Good job. Good job. No, I'm curious on Love. He's been QB8 most of the season, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So he's only QB9. But again, to go a full round behind Murray is interesting because he's been going ahead of Murray recently. So I just think there's upside there. I think, again, the wide receivers, any of those four could take off. But Love is the one who's throwing it to him, and he's going to get over 4,000 yards again this year, I think. So there's Brian Thomas. Talked about him as well. So nice pick there.
And I don't know if you can put Pat's comment up in chat here. Eckler over B-Rob is different. We talked about that yesterday, how a couple of these running back situations, it was, a coin flip, whether it was going to be Robinson or Eckler as far as the Washington backfield goes. But I'm seeing a lot more Eckler earlier. We talked about the Pollard one. There's another couple backfields here that we talked about yesterday where, these guys kind of went close together. But the market is having its say now. And Eckler is the guy in Washington right now, and Pollard is the guy in Tennessee right now, according to what I've been seeing in these drafts. Yeah,
and Eckler and B. Robinson have been going really close to each other. We haven't seen them go at this point, so it's interesting to see where he is. All right, so again, we wanted to do the live stream today because we love the matinees. We want to get more matinees. These are a lot of fun. Who needs to work during the day? We've got 3 more weeks of this. Next week, let's get some more matinees. This weekend, we obviously will get lots of matinees. I really want to get the cut lines going. We need to jumpstart that contest, $70,000 grand prize. So we'll keep pushing that. Look for the email newsletter today. We're going to have some promo codes in there for the weekend. There's Brian Robinson goes right there. So full round after Eckler. But things are picking up, folks. I mean, we've got almost 800 primetime teams right now. I think we're right around 790. We're over 2,200 RotoWire Online Championship teams, closing on 700 cut line teams, almost 2,000 best ball championship teams. Things are picking up, but this weekend's going to be a big, big weekend. Make Jeff work hard this weekend. Sign up, and let's get some drafts going, right?
All right. Hey, for one thing, though, I am off tomorrow night. That's like my first weekend night off since the middle of July, and obviously my last one off. So make Brian and Tom work hard tomorrow. I want to come back and see those guys are working hard because that's my one night off. I take one summer night off a week or one August Saturday off. So make those guys work hard. I want to come back and laugh at them for what you guys did to them.
We're going to do it. Saturday's going to be busy. Sunday's going to be busy, and away we go. We have sold out the primetime first nightly one on Saturday night and on Sunday night. We got 8 and 10 Eastern every night going forward. We're going to fill 80-plus primetime leagues in 22 days. We condense that into that drafting period of 22 days. We're the only ones who really do that. So give it a shot, all right? So, again, we really appreciate everybody joining us today. We're going to call it a day. Jeff, thanks for joining me. Have fun out there on the lake. I will jump out on my lake here pretty soon.
Nice.
Away we go, all right?
Perfect. We'll see you all this weekend.
All right. PlayNFFC.com. It's PlayNFFC.com. Check it out. Check your email newsletter. We got some promo